Fokusku terkendala, kau memaksa aku menutup mata, tersempat tutup telinga bila kau tertawa. Papa para pa, papa para papa papa papa. Kan ku kembalinya padamu nanti, bila kita berjanji tuh sehidup semati. Make some noise. Kan ku curi hatimu, menyambut senyummu, kan ku culik cintamu, macam ku larikan lirikmu. Don't you notice I have worshipped you since we both were kids? I have loved you since first grade. I hope it's not too late for me to say UniKL. Dari darjah satu aku suka kamu. Terima kasih banyak semua. Assalamualaikum. Terima kasih banyak semua.
Assalamualaikum semua.
Okey, akak take over. Kita orang
Assalamualaikum, ada jembat dah berubah sekarang. Ya. Tak. Okey. Saya nak ucapkan congratulations to UniKL. Beri tepukan kepada diri masing-masing. Terima kasih kerana menjemput saya pada hari ini. Ada hati yang dah kena curi ke dekat sini? Cuba angkat tangan, abang handsome. Saya nampak awak paling handsome kat situ. Saya nampak. Yes. Sekejap lagi saya nak tak bagi nombor telefon. Okey, boleh nyanyi sama-sama dengan saya? Terimalah, pencuri hati. Hey. AJ. Come on baby. Ada-ada dirimu membuat aku jatuh cinta. Tapi sayang selain dirimu, penjara kamu menikahi dalam hatiku. Come on baby, semua sekali boleh? Tiga. Satu, dua, tiga, semua. Terima kasih. Terima kasih semua. Jumpa lagi. Awak nombor telefon eh?
Pada iramaku berpesan, lagu ini ditujukan padanya yang tersayang. Kasihku, kau pernah dipersia, lalu ku bawa cintaku sebagai penawarnya. Biar lukamu masih terasa. Ampun Bang. Sesaat engkau tidak kutemu, bulan seakan pilu, tiada dapat beradu. Begitu jika engkau membisu, badai jauh di lautan, tiada ketepian. Sebegitu cintaku padamu. Usahlah cinta dibawa bersama, ditenggelami mentari di timur. Gelap gelita tiada bercahaya, ku tiada berdaya. Ku ingin selalu di sampingmu, tiap waktu siang melambai malam. Bagaikan senja denyutan cinta kita, penyambung hadirnya. Akan ku bina istana bahagia, menjadi lambang kasih berpanjangan. Hentikan air mata pedih kenangan yang mencakar perasaan. Akan ku bina istana bahagia, menjadi lambang kasih berpanjangan. Hentikan air mata pedih kenangan yang mencakar perasaan. Lagu seterusnya pesanan buat kekasih. Ampun tuanku. Sewaktu kau melangkah meninggalkan diriku, sebabnya rasa di dalam dadaku menahan titis air mata. Ingin aku berpesan kepadamu kekasih, sekiranya engkau merinduiku, hubungilah aku di sini. Jika ada kesilapanku, maafkanlah diriku oh sayang, dan izinkan aku bertanya, mengapa kau berubah hati? Kiranya kau ada penggantiku, tetapi hidupmu tak bahagia. Relaku memaafkanmu dan menerimamu sayang, walaupun hatiku kau lukai. Menjunjung kasih tuanku. Seterusnya. Buta cinta. Berapa lamakah lagi terpaksa aku menanti, sehingga teguhnya pendirian di hati. Bukan hanya kepentingan, malahan keegoan telah ku korbankan. Berlimpahan kasih sayang aku curahkan buatmu seorang. Kiranya semua itu tak memadai bagimu. Apa sebenarnya yang kau mahu, ku tak tahu. Kau hilang bila ku tiba, kau datang bila ku kecewa. Terasa diri dipersendam. Jika itu tiada, apalah artinya penantian ini hanya sia-sia. Jika itu tiada, apalah artinya penantian ini hanya sia-sia. Menjunjung kasih tuanku.
Terima kasih. Ku sangkakan panas berpanjang, rupanya gerimis mengundang dalam tak sudah ku kebasan. Pernah juga kau pinta berpisah. Aku sangkakan itu hanyalah gurauan. Nyata kau serius dalam senyuman. Bukan sekejap denganmu, bukan mainan hasratku. Engkau pun tahu niatku tulus dan suci. Senang benar kau ucapkan, kau anggap itu suratan. Sikit puria wajahmu tiada terhilang. Hanya aku separuh nyawa menahan sebab di dada, sedangkan kau bersahaja berlalu tanpa kata. Terasa diri amat terhina kau lakukan. Terasa diri amat terhina kau lakukan. Okey. So saya ingin ambil kesempatan untuk mengucapkan tahniah kepada anda semua. Okay. Alright. Aku fikirkan mendung berterusan, tapi kini mentari muncul lagi. Ku rasa kembali kehangatannya. Maafkan aku meninggalkanmu. Itu ku lakukan kerana cintaku padamu. Ku tak sanggup melihat kau tersiksa. Tuhan saja yang tahu perasaanku berperang dengan suasana. Hingga kan ku terpaksa meninggalkanmu kerana tak sanggup melihat Terima kasih.
Kasihku kasih tiada banding, setia tiada tara. Bagaimanapun jua. Okey, Assalamualaikum semua. Allah, pertama sekali saya ingin mengucapkan terima kasih kepada VVIP terhormat kita, kepada semua student-student, dan saya ingin mengucapkan tahniah kepada semua graduan-graduan UniKL. Terima kasih kerana menjemput saya pada hari ini. Terimalah kisah cinta kita. Ku cerita pada semua kisah cinta antara kau dan ku, agar semua tahu dan tak akan dekati dirimu. Andainya mampu kan ku ukir namamu dan namaku di bulan, agar satu dunia melihat restui cinta kita. Aku selalu tersenyum bayangkan kita hidup berdua, berjalan berpegangan tangan, takkan kau lepaskan. Okey, boleh saya turun tak? Allah. Ku pernah rasa kau kan pergi, tinggalkan diriku sendiri. Kan ku seru dunia, berdoa kau kembali pada diriku. Oh, aku selalu hidup berdua, berjalan berpegangan tangan, takkan kau lepaskan. Tiba waktunya nanti, kan ku cerita pada dunia yang kau telah pun jadi milikku buat kisah kasih. Oke. Lihat ke arah sana, serahkan warna dan berarahkan awan. Apabila terik panas segera hadirnya memayungi diri. Apabila kau dahaga, sesegera turun hujan melimpahkan kasihnya. Apabila kau katakan, akulah awan itu yang kau mahu. Semua boleh. Ketika panas mencoba menggores pipi dan bibirmu, begitulah awan anu sering saja tak terduga hadir dan tak akan tercapai. Terima kasih. atas semua. Untukmu. Jom lagi. Air mata yang berderai, siapa yang menghapuskan? Hati kering dan gersang, siapa yang meneduhkan? Sedangkan kau yang ku sayang telah pergi dariku dengan cinta dan harapan hidupku. Oh sayang, tiada lagi ku dengar kidungmu, tiada lagi derai tawamu, hanya kesepian yang kian mencingkam di.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning. I bid to our honored guest speaker and of course our dear participants. My name is Afif Mirza and I will be your moderator for today's event, LinkedIn Talk 101, How to LinkedIn for Beginners. Before we can begin this forum in earnest, I would like to invite Mr. Muhammad Adlan bin Abdul Razak to bless our event by reciting the dua so that it may run without any setbacks. I pass the floor to you, Muhammad Adlan.
Thank you, Mr. Afif. Al-Fatiha. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ya Allah, Ya Rahim. Praise be to God, the Lord of the worlds. Peace and blessings be upon our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions, and for those who followed his example till the judgment day. Allahumma ya Allah, on this blessed morning, in conjunction with the program 101, How to LinkedIn for Beginner, we beseech thee and grateful towards you in favor of all the infinite blessings to us, your humble servant, to live in the safe and prosperous life. We seek your blessing for a flawless progress of this event from the beginning till the end. We seek your guidance to steer clear of event that will detrimental the progress of this event. Ya Latif, Ya Rahman, please bless us with your tawfiq and hidayah. Please guide University Kuala Lumpur to greatness, peace, glory, and prosperity in this world and the hereafter. Make us a responsible intellectual. Grant us with valuable knowledge that will be beneficial to mankind in order to gain your mardatillah. Make us your righteous servant that follow your commands and neglect the sinful act. Please forgive us for our wrongdoing. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azabannar. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Amin, Amin, Ya Rabbal Alamin. Thank you, Muhammad Adlan, for the dua recital. Alright, now we can begin this forum in earnest. Joining us as the acting guest speaker of this talk is Sir Koh Mui Han. He is the principal consultant for Change Dynamics and has 12 years of experience in leading diverse consulting assignments across Southeast Asia. Sir Mui Han is also a co-founder for Prime for Success Movement in 2017, where he focuses on enhancing Malaysian graduates' employability through personal branding on LinkedIn. He was also named as one of LinkedIn's most inspirational icons in Malaysia in 2018 and 2019 by Marketing in India. But enough about me introducing him. How about we give a warm welcome to Sir Moihan himself for giving some first impressions to the audience. Sir Moihan?
Good morning. Thank you, Afif. Can you hear me, everyone?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Okay, right. First and foremost, salam sejahtera and selamat pagi to all of you from in UniKL. Very honored to be. I think this is my first time speaking to UniKL students, and gratitude towards the organizers for inviting me and definitely help getting me to share my favorite topic in that sense. Given the context of our session this morning, I thought it would be useful to give some big picture first before I go into the specifics of the sharing with regards to LinkedIn. Why LinkedIn? Why LinkedIn for undergraduates? Why must you be active on LinkedIn? So I think I've been going around universities, Malaysian universities for the last 4 years, coming to 4 years. Yeah, 4 years already. November 2017 is when I started. Easily visited 22, 23 university physically. And then subsequently during MCO last year, talked to another 6 or 8 universities virtually like this, right? And the message been quite consistent to all the students in the sense that the greatest challenge for you all today is definitely employment or employability. It is so sad or so alarming to see year after year MOHE records the number of unemployed youth or unemployed graduates 6 months after your graduation. So every university, if you're not aware, runs a tracer study or SPKT study. It's a survey after you graduate, just before convocation, to determine whether you are employed or whether you are employed in the field of your study, as well as also some idea of your starting salary and so on and so forth. In that survey, I think currently it stands at 70%. So if you have a degree holder, the chances of you getting a job is only 70% 6 months after you graduate, right? That means every 10 of you that I'm speaking to today, there's about 80 of you, 3 of you wouldn't get a job. That means there's 24 of us here will be part of the statistics, quote unquote, when you graduate, right? And this has a specific reason why it's happening so. Of course, I'm not here to play the blame game. I think we are beyond the blame game, and it's a very complex problem. Not one party is responsible. It is multi-factored, multi-party in a sense. But just to give you some statistics, every year, setiap tahun, MOHE records the number of maybe do this just to make it more interactive rather than a one-way webinar.
Yeah.
So the question is, and you can type on the chat box. The question is, what do you think is the total number of graduates from Malaysian universities, both private university and public university? Soalan dia macam tu, right? So number bilangan graduan setiap tahun, okay? Untuk IPTA, tambah IPTS, tambah Politeknik, tambah Community College. These 4 categories of institution. If you can quickly tembak on the chat box and let's see what everybody say, okay? Oh, I can't see the chat. Any way for me to see the chat? Or somebody can, Afif can read out some answers maybe.
Yeah, I can. So there's 2 million, 5 million, more than 5 million, 3 million, 4.8 million, 300K, less than 2 million, 400K, and 4 million.
Okay. So if it's million, then we are in a very deep state. Okay. Because Malaysia, we only have 28 million population. So every year, if 5 million people graduating or even 2 million people graduating, then we are in big trouble in that sense. So the official number, number rasmi, or the bilangan rasmi from the Kementerian is 295,000. 295, okay, annually. And then I ask another question, okay? This one also need to help me, because I cannot see. What do you think? So same time, a different ministry, Kementerian Sumber Manusia, MOHR, also survey among all the companies in Malaysia, and then they ask this question of how many new jobs you create during this year, okay? So the question to all of you again can tembak. What do you think is the number of new jobs that is newly created in Malaysia every year by Malaysian companies? Yeah, same drill. Can just type into the chat box.
Okay, I'm getting responses. So
Can't hear you. Muted.
all right, it's 20K, 500K, 600,000, 150,000, 30,000, 10,000, 1,000, and 169,000 per year, and 30K plus.
Okay, so quite diverse also, right? So interesting, very interesting that all of you have this different perception. Okay, so if it's at 20K, then we are in deep trouble also. Country to talk. If it's at 500K, then we don't have this issue. So the official number is 115,000 new jobs created. And mind you that these new jobs created are, how to say, quote unquote, not all for fresh graduates, okay? Because there could be some new requirements, new technologies and things like that. Jobs created for experience hire. So the 295,000 is not inclusive, belum kira lagi all our friends who went to foreign universities, who went overseas to study. And you would know by now, any Malaysian that go to foreign universities to study, 90%, I would say 90% of them will come back to Malaysia to work, because it's almost impossible to get a working permit or visa in those countries, be it Australia, Europe, America, and I mean, if anything, Singapore would be the destination, right? That will be the country that most Malaysian would end up working in. Either they study in Singapore or they study in somewhere else, but chances are they'll all be back in Malaysia. So we are talking about a competition for you if you are graduating this year or graduating soon, of 350,000 students towards that 100,000 jobs, new jobs. So it's every 3 students to 1 job, quote unquote. And yeah, it's very, very intense. So with that in mind, as a management consultant, my job primarily is to, advise companies, talk to them with regards of their business and the areas, specialty or specialization is in the area of HR. That's what I do. And I talk to a lot of HR managers, HR directors, CEOs, COOs, and C-suites. Increasingly, over the years, they always talk about how our undergraduates are unemployable. And very, very specific, they will say the Malaysian university graduates that are unemployable, right? So they have a persistent bias towards Malaysian university graduates, whether you are public or private, they don't care. And they prefer foreign university graduates, okay? This is quite what I call common phenomenon or common bias across the board. So as a result of that, I become, inspired or troubled or call to action, whichever word that you want to use, 4 years ago, because I think no point complaining about the situation day in, day out. So if I go to university, the lecturer says or the academician say, hey, this problem is not just us, because the student come from primary, secondary school, sudah macam ni, 3 tahun, 4 tahun, you cannot be doing a super transformation. If let's say their English proficiency is weak, they cannot learn English in university, or if they are unable to be communicative, if they are not peta bercakap, tapi susah, 3 tahun, very hard to train. So one party blames the other, and then of course the corporate blame the university, and then everybody blame everybody else, and nothing gets done. Of course, our favorite pastime is to blame the government, regardless who is the government, okay, or whichever political affinity you have, which I'm not talking about that. So let's not get into that, because that become another discussion. So I decided, okay lah, let's be a responsible Malaysian. Don't keep talking about it or be angry about it, but not doing anything about it. So I said, okay, why not? I go to universities and maybe do a bit of interaction with university students, as well as to understand them better, and also share some kind of experiences to help them to bridge the employability gap. And when I look at it, I think including UniKL, your university would have a string of graduate employability programs. I think all universities do, quite extensive. In fact, even the public universities have significant funding or allocation for them, be it from CV workshop to career fairs to grooming workshops and things like that. But there was one area that was less, covered, and it was the whole idea of a LinkedIn presence. So I chose LinkedIn as the topic to start teaching. Okay, and I didn't know much about LinkedIn to start with 4.5 years ago, to be honest. I mean, I was using LinkedIn for my personal career development and business, but didn't really know much about it. So that's how it all started. Sorry, Afif, just to check, am I able to share slides or?
Should be. Is there a button beside the mic?
I can, right?
Share content.
Okay, can. Right, boleh. Maybe let's do that so it's easy to put in context.
All right.
Can you? Okay. Let me just. I think you need to
Hmm?
refocus on the
Oh,
screen.
but we can see your slides.
You can see my full
Info.
slide.
Yes, info.
Okay. 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 Yep. So where was I? So I run my own consulting firm, as I was saying, Change Dynamics, and these are some of the work that I do, part of my consulting services. And then, so in 2017, I created this CSR program called Prime for Success, where I actively go into universities to help graduates to breach the employability requirement so that they are more employable. So I've conducted 50 physical sessions in 22 Malaysian universities. 60% of them are IPTA, the other 40% IPTS. Okay, and then talk to more than 6,500 students. And during this MCO period, right, went virtually, right, another 35 sessions, coming to 40 sessions. I have not updated this slide. So all in all, I talked to 12,000 students. And these are some of the university I've covered. Okay, so I'll be happy to add UniKL logo to this chart or to this after today's session. And generally, this is what I feel. So whatever the biasness towards you all, biasness in the terms of the younger generation are quote unquote lazy, privileged, entitled, no motivation, blah blah blah, I don't think that's true. Okay, and I'm not saying that to be patronizing you because I'm talking to all of you, but genuinely, as I walk around after all this 11,000 association and interaction over the last 4 years, I come to a conclusion that you all, and I'm generalizing here to a certain extent, you all are behaving like university students as you should. Okay, so I find most students are very motivated in their academic pursuit, in their academic excellence. They are also very motivated to do extracurricular activities. In fact, some of you are so busy that your schedules are even tighter than the CEO of most companies, right? Back to back. Huh? And you know who you are, right? When I say that. Okay. And if you look at that recipe, it is exactly same thing like what we were doing 20 years ago when we were in university, right? We were student leaders, we were running activities, we were talking to different types of people, and all of that, we still ensure that we completed our assignments, our projects, and come to exam. We are not the 4 flat student, but nevertheless, we are also not the 2.0 student, right? So we maintain a decent 3.2 and above. Kalau boleh nearer to second upper, if not second lower, that kind of recipe. So if you look at that formula, you are no different from what we have been doing or what many university students have been doing in the last many years. So with that, I dismiss the notion of biasness that corporate people or business people have towards your generation, right? But at the same time, the world has changed, right? So the world has changed significantly in the last 20 odd years because of technology, and accessibility now becomes an issue and a challenge, right? So therefore, if you follow the original formula of when you are in university, you be as active as possible, do at best in your studies, and at the end of the day, when you graduate, then you are if enough credential to actually apply for a job and so forth, chances are you won't be successful. So this is the reality shock, because the requirements has become much more intensive, and as well as the number of students or competing for you with the job is double, triple, if not quadruple, over these last 10 to 20 years. So you got to change the game. And my job here is to convince you, or convince as much or as many of you to do things differently. And therefore, why LinkedIn is our topic for this morning. All right. So why LinkedIn and why personal branding? Maybe personal branding is not such a good word here, but personal branding for employability, very specific. Because if you just do personal branding for personal branding, then chances are you become more successful as a social media influencer, which I not to say I don't encourage you to do that, but that shouldn't be your primary objective. Your primary objective should be how to position yourself on social media so that you can get the job that you want. Okay, because I see a lot of young people very active on LinkedIn. They create a lot of viral posts, get a lot of followers. Tapi tak ada kerja, menganggur juga. So this is the worst, this is like the celebrity artist that very popular but cannot make money, Papa Perdana, so yeah, don't do that, right? Don't do that, right? So you must be able to harness that fame or popularity into something meaningful for yourself. And in this case, is to get a job, right? Even if you decide to try entrepreneurship, keusahawanan, yeah, there is also, the techniques are still similar. And for any one of you who want to get into business, I would still suggest that personal buyers, I would still suggest that you spend at least 2-3 years working for somebody to build some kind of realism in the corporate world, in the business world, before you plan and execute your business idea, right? It is much better, trust me, it is much better. And you will see business from a very different point after you have worked for someone else over some period of time, right? Don't need to be long. 2-3 years is good enough to give you a good feel if you are really wanting to do your own business, for those, right? Now, okay, so your profile is definitely your online first impression. And I always occasionally get students to do this, and you may want to do this from time to time. Just Google your name from time to time. Type your name into Google, search, and see what comes out. If your first 3 organic search on the first page is not you, that means you type your name tapi bukan kamu, then you might need to work on positioning yourself better. Because inevitably today, if you submit a CV for a job application, and if the employer or hiring manager likes your CV, chances are they will Google you, right? And if you are searched or you are searchable, therefore it adds to the credentials, or it adds to the first impression. If you're not found, it's not a minus. It's not a minus, because the internet is very vast, and some of you share, unfortunately, some of you share names with celebrities. Okay, so for whatever reason, if your name is Siti Nurhaliza, susah lah. Because you'll be competing with Dato Siti for internet presence, and you can never be found. Okay, so yeah, so if you, joke aside, if your name is really Siti Nurhaliza, I would really encourage you to rebrand yourself as Siti N or S Nur. whichever that is very different from Dato Siti Nurhaliza, right? Yeah. So that's the case, right? So now, so I told you I didn't know much about LinkedIn. That was about 4 or 5 years ago. And because I decided I want to teach students how to use LinkedIn better for their employability, I needed to research Okay, so I did a lot of research. I follow a lot of LinkedIn gurus, watch a lot of videos. The amount of LinkedIn enhancement videos I watched, I think I watched it all already. And I've been following all these people, buying their books as well as also going onto their webinars with the whole intention of learning to teach, right? And as I was doing my research, I saw this particular guy. Okay, so when I first saw Afiq was a second year business degree student in MMU Cyberjaya. Okay, this is a very old screenshot lah. These days his profile don't look like this. Okay, now this guy very interesting. Although he was just a second year student, every other day he was posting very interesting things on his LinkedIn. All right, so I want to share 3 posting with you of what he did 3 years ago or 4 years ago. And I want you to maybe type into the chat box, what do you think is he trying to do here? Okay, so hopefully you can see the slides. I think you can. So first posting is this. He said, choice is what you have and dictate to do. Had a good time meeting with Krishna Chaitya, Associate Director in Deals of PwC Malaysia. So Associate Director in PwC is the 3rd level after the partner. The partner is the most senior person in the firm. After the partner is the executive director. After the executive director is associate director. So this Chaitya this Krishna is quite high ranking in the firm comparatively. All right. So imagine a second year student go and have lunch with the associate director of a big 4. Okay. And then he writes something like blah, 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 blah. And then, put a photo of him and Krishna having lunch. That is the first posting. Second posting, okay, SP Setia, which is one of the biggest property developer in Malaysia, owned by major shareholder is Pemodaran Nasional Berhad, making them a GLC, right? And Afiq here with his group Lean in Malaysia had a specific program with Nadia and her team, with SP Setia HR team. Nadia Tan Abdullah is SP Setia's CHRO, Chief HR Officer, right, who sits in the EXCO board, right? So it was such great camaraderie, facilitating the circles. Team SP Setia has supportive vibe, blah, 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 blah. Then take picture. In the picture, you can see Afiq standing next to Nadia. And then behind them is Nadia's team, all right, in SP Setia office. Okay. Last picture. Last posting. The awesome man behind Accenture Malaysia. Accenture is the global technology consulting firm. This is a multinational. And the country, Malaysian country managing director is this gentleman by the name of Aswan Baharudin. Okay. So the awesome mind behind Accenture Malaysia, Aswan Baharudin, dropped by my university campus today. Not only being sharp and visionary, definitely has his Millennium Games going strong. Much to learn from you, Aswan, blah, 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 blah. Selfie with Aswan in the career fair in MMU. My question to all of you, and you can tap onto the chat box. What do you think my friend Afiq here is trying to do in these 3 postings?
Networking. He is trying to expand his network.
Can't hear you, Afif, sorry.
So some of the answers are networking. He is trying to expand his network. So it's still networking. To make people know him. So to have a social media presence. To promote his achievements and self-branding.
Okay, cool. Thank you for those answers. So when I first saw this, And this is just 3 out of the many, okay? At that time, every other day he was posting like this with some other big corporate leaders. He got a whole string of them. So, you know, if you see this every 2 days, sometimes it become a little bit annoying. Then, so deep in my mind, when I first saw it, I said, wow, this guy, orang muda ni, quite a show off, right? He's like trying to show us he know all these big bosses in that sense, right? And I'm thinking, like, what is he trying to do? Okay lah, you know, got to give credit to him, meeting all these people as a second-year university student. But later it became clear what he was trying to do, right? So 6 months later, after I first followed him, he changed his status in LinkedIn because that time he needed to do his internship. So he changed his status to note that he was an intern in a particular organization. So take a wild guess which organization or which company. Again, you can put under the chat. Or you can unmute yourself as well. Maybe I think that's allowable, right? Yeah. Yeah. Anyone, you can just unmute yourself and shoot. Where do you think Afiq did his internship?
Someone answered Google.
Google. Okay, no. Anybody else? Sound like a very random question. Actually, not very random. There's a specific reason. Or anyone can unmute yourself just to answer, right? If you
Accenture.
okay, precisely, right? So he did his internship in Accenture. So the moment I saw that he doing his internship at Accenture, then it makes much sense. So orang muda ni, when he do all this posting, he's not showing off. He has a particular strategy to connect with these leaders upfront, build relationship over time, and then when the time needed, he will ask for the favor. In this case, whether it's an internship placement, whether it's the job, and etc. Okay. And when I saw this, I said, wow, this is actually quite smart. Okay. Because LinkedIn is one platform that allows you to connect with all these business leaders today. And you can already literally have a constant or periodic conversation with them, even though you are a fresh graduate or you are an undergraduate, right? It almost democratizes the relationship or the access to them. 20, 30 years ago, we didn't have this kind of avenue. If you ask me to talk to or how to get to know the country director of Accenture or the partner of PwC or EY, you know, I wouldn't know how, you know. Probably I would say stupid thing like probably I will wait in front of their office and then tunggu dia turun. Then that's how olden days people do because you probably cannot even email them. You cannot find their emails, and if you can find their emails, chances are they will treat it as spam, you know, and things like that. But in today's context with LinkedIn, you have almost direct access. And the other interesting thing is actually not many undergraduates use this platform to do such a thing. Okay, so after observing Afiq for 6 months, I concluded he has 5 strategies. Okay, which is my next slide, I think. Yeah. So before I get into these 5 strategies, which I want to talk about it more extensively this morning, I told you I went to 50 universities. I ran 50 sessions in 22 universities, right? And in the 50 sessions, I remember very clearly, session 1 to session 38, I told the Afiq story, just like what I just told you, okay? And I thought this is a very important story to share and also important technique to share that all undergraduates will follow. But to be honest, I have not met Afiq. until then, right? So for 38 sessions, I have not met him in person. I only know him from LinkedIn, and he also know my presence because why? Every university I go to or every session I run, I will mention his story, and resulting in students, okay, would like to connect with him on LinkedIn, right? So just advice, if you do want to connect with Afiq on LinkedIn, please drop a personalized note to say that, dear Afiq, I'm who and who. I'm currently attending a session or a talk by Muihan. Please use my name. I'm attending a session by Muihan, and I got inspired by a story. Therefore, I want to connect. Please write the note, because if not, tiba-tiba he like got 60, 70 UniKL student adding him, and he doesn't know where it came from, right? And it happens a lot in the first 38 sessions. I go to Kelantan, then you can 30, 40 invites from University Malaysia Kelantan students. I go to UUM, he will have 30, 40 UUM students adding him. I go to University Sabah, so it happens everywhere I go, and that's happening. So anyway, before 39 session, I decided to have lunch with him, primarily to express my gratitude to him allowing me to share his story, as well as also, more importantly or selfishly, I wanted to validate this story, because these 5 techniques that you see here is my interpretation of what he did. It's not what he tell others. So he didn't share in any posting to say, this is my LinkedIn strategy, so strategy 1, strategy 2. No, he didn't. These 5 steps that you see here is what I dictated or what I observed, and I crafted it. So I wanted to validate with him whether this is actually what he did. Okay. So then I shared with him. Then I say, I just want to confirm. So I say, step 1 is this, step 2 is this, step 3 is this, and so on and so forth. Then he thought for a while. Then he said, maybe I wouldn't call it like this, but yeah, I don't think you're wrong in that sense, right? What you have just described. Now, what I didn't know was, when I had lunch with him, he was working in EY already as an analyst. And he joined EY for 3 months at that time, all right? Today, he's in Deloitte. I think from EY, he went to PwC. PwC went to Deloitte. Wow. So he's quite a high, fast mover, right? In the Big Four world. Anyway, the story he told me was crazy, and I was very, very excited hearing that story, because it really confirmed it does work. So what I didn't know, because Essential I know, I could see the relationship. I could see him spending time with Aswan Baharudin, then tiba-tiba become intern in Essential. So I made that connection. So I saw that that's what you do, invest a lot of time building relationship with the big boss. At the end of the day, when you need to do your internship, it translates into the opportunity. But what I didn't know is how he got his job in EY. So he was sharing about 4 months ago, that time, this is about the year before COVID, was 2019 when I met him, right? He said about 4 months ago, in the mid-2019, he was approached by EY's recruitment department to come for an interview. Now, the interesting fact is he didn't apply for this job, right? So they, tiba-tiba, out of the blue, sent him a message on LinkedIn saying that they are from the recruitment team and there's a vacancy for him. There's a vacancy for an analyst role in a consulting division. Invited him for a job interview, right? So he went. They spent that 1 hour interview, another 1 hour assessment, blah, blah, blah. And then end of everything, the recruitment manager said, yes, I think you fulfill all our criteria. Here is an offer letter. Okay. So he was thrilled, exhilarated, for a job interview that he didn't apply for. Then he went and suddenly he got offered then, right? So then the recruitment manager said, you read over the terms and condition, and then don't take too long. But once you're okay, then you just sign it, and then just let us know when you can join us. All right. So he was bursting with curiosity. So he asked the recruitment manager, said, yeah, I think I will sign it soon. I'm very interested anyway to start in this position, and I'm always wanted to work for the Big Four. But out of curiosity, how did you find me? Because I didn't apply for this job, right? So that was the question he asked the recruitment manager. And what the recruitment manager said next really blew me out of my chair. And I thought, wow, it really works. It really works. And all students in Malaysian University, IPTA, IPTS colleges need to do this. So the recruitment manager said, Afiq, I don't know what you did 2 years ago on LinkedIn. You either commented on one of our senior partners' posts or you commented on his comment. But your comment was so insightful, was so matured, the perspective that you given was so impressive. The senior partner, after that incident, came to the recruitment department and gave us what we call standing order to say that when this young person or this young man graduate, make sure he's in our firm. Full stop. Okay. So it's like, wow. So what did you do? He said, I also cannot remember because it was 2 years ago. And the recruitment manager cannot tell me specifically what post it was. Okay. So this is where we are, right? So if you follow the traditional mode of trying to apply for a job. Okay, sorry, wait, let me just change my plug point. I'm running out of battery. Okay, so you follow the normal mode of applying for a job after you graduate, you are against a lot of competition. Therefore, you need to change the game. And how you change the game is to use a platform like LinkedIn to build relationship up front and to maintain that relationship, nurture the relationship. Then it will help you to connect the dots. It will also help you to enhance your maturity, because the more conversations you have with business people, especially corporate leaders like the Aswan and alikes, it will inevitably raise your maturity, raise your perspective, and also make you more corporate ready. Okay, so the challenge with graduate employability today is this, my personal opinion. Students do not have enough contact time with business and corporate people. Full stop. Right? So a lot of things that you are doing still very student-like, very, you still behave like a student, which is fine. You are a student. But for you to transit from a student to the working world, you need to spend more time analyzing what the working world needs, what the corporate world needs. And the only way for you to do that is to have constant conversations with corporate people. So in Afiq's case, every day he will comment on their posts. That is a form of conversation, because when they comment on their posts, they will reply his comment and he will reply their comments and so on and so forth. That strikes out a conversation, and he will learn from them in terms of what their perspective are, what is important, what works, what doesn't work. And if you start doing that when you're second year, by the time you graduate, you are very powerful already, because comparatively to your peers, you are much more business ready, much more savvy about what is happening. And because you are talking to senior people in the industry on an occasional basis, that network effect also helps, right? So I'm not just merely suggesting that you connect to build that cable. So in case anybody are thinking, okay lah, Muihan, because he got cable, that's why Aswan help him. No, right? That is the after effect. It is the months of having conversation with Aswan to and fro, I mean Aswan and all the Aswans alike, that helps him to build his maturity, help him to build his perspective, and therefore his thinking and idea is also very different compared to a normal student. That is what I would say is lacking, right? So yeah, so with that, let us go through the 5 steps in a more detailed manner, right? So step 1 is to have a professional LinkedIn profile, okay? So for this morning's purposes, I know I have some time a bit, but usually I spend much more time on this, right? But I think I want to leave it more for Q&A. So I will give you the high level one. And if you still want to learn some more, all right, any one of you, doesn't need to come from the organizers, we can go into a more in-depth class, which I can show specific examples. But just for alignment purposes, for this morning, I didn't prepare to do that, right? I want to leave it for more higher level, a bigger picture, right? I run these sessions, can be a 3-hour session, can be a 4-hour session, can be a 2-hour session like today, and also can be 1 hour, 1.5 hours, depending on the time given to me. So I try to squeeze. So since it's about 2-hour session this morning, thought will be just nice to give you enough. But any one of you want the details, then we can also, of course, I mean, it's an open invitation, not only to the organizers, but to any one of you who says that, Muihan, I think I want to understand this further. How can we do that? All right. So you can get in touch with me on LinkedIn. And of course, we can definitely arrange a separate session. Okay. These days with virtual sessions is very convenient and very easy to execute. All right. Right. So for the first strategy or the first step, which is the professional profile, you need to focus on these 6 things. Okay. But before I go into these 6 things, I just want to give some terminology. If you're already on LinkedIn, you'll notice there's something called the All-Star Profile. All-Star Profile, right? What is an All-Star Profile? All-Star Profile is a badge given to you by LinkedIn to reward you to put information in all their section. Okay, so make sure you earn that All-Star Profile. Reason being is if you do not have an All-Star status, your visibility is lower than somebody that has an All-Star status. So to fulfill the criteria, to memenuhi syarat, please fill in every section to get your All-Star status, right? But in all the sections, this is the only 6 areas which I think you need to focus more so to enhance it, to make your profile look more professional. So what are they? So the first one is your profile photo, okay? So the profile photo is the one in the circle, right? And in this profile photo, there are 6 criteria. Sorry, there are 5 criteria you should be watching for. I don't have this on the slide, so please do take notes, the criteria. So criteria 1 is to have an updated photo, a photo that looks like you, okay? Now, some of you might be thinking, hey, Muihan, apa ni? Sure, I will put my own photo, right? What are you saying? So what I'm saying is you need to have an updated photo because on other social media sites, there is a tendency for you to put an old photo, to put a younger photo, to put a baby photo, whichever applies. And it works very well on Instagram, it works very well on Facebook, but it works horribly on LinkedIn. So please don't do that. Also, don't put a photo of you doing something else. We just want you to have a photo of your face, okay? So a criteria is make sure it's a photo of your face. Second criteria is the frame, okay, need to cover 60% of your face, okay? Which means don't put a profile photo of you full body shot to start with, or you doing something, let's say climbing Mount Kinabalu, right? You are so small, then the mountain is so big, and then cannot see you, right? So we want to see your face in this profile photo because most people will access your profile using the mobile phone, okay? And in the mobile phone, if you put a full-blown photo, you are very small, cannot see your face, okay? So that's the second criteria. 60% of the frame must be your face. Third criteria, you need to smile with your eyes. Smile, right expression, right? With your eyes, someone, that means it's not your mouth, it's your eyes, right? So that's how intense that was. The whole idea is to make sure that every time people see your photo, they feel inspired to connect with you. It exudes approachability. You are very approachable, and so forth, right? So right expression is important, and related to right expression is also lighting. Okay, because sometimes you have the right expression, but you don't have the right lighting. So let me just quickly demonstrate. So let's say now I'm looking, okay, I have a approachable smile, but let's say I have bad lighting, okay? So you can see the difference between having good lighting and bad lighting, right? Because if half of my face is darker, okay, then it doesn't bring out the best of my face, quote unquote, right? So do take a photo with proper lighting. And I'm not even suggesting that you need to invest in professional lighting, right? So, okay, let me experiment same way just to show you, right? So if you are taking this photo in this particular area, like what I am, I'm dark on my right side. My left side is bright because there's a window, the sun is coming out. So I just need to get a friend who has a mobile phone. I think most of your friends have a mobile phone to shine their spotlight or to shine their flashlight with their mobile phones just above my head, and another friend to take a photo of me, right? And that itself will solve my lighting problem. So don't even need to invest in ring light, invest in professional light, tapaya. You just need a mobile phone, okay? So that will help you to create a better expression. So first one is updated photo. Second one is 60% of the frame must be your face. Third one is right expression. Fourth one is what you wear. So what you wear in this photo should represent what you're going to wear to work, right? So for guys, it's easy. You just put a formal, collared shirt, right? Either you want to put a tie or not a tie, up to you. For the ladies, you must start thinking what you're going to wear to office if you get employed, okay? And make that consistent. So don't put your gala picture, your kenduri picture as your profile photo, because you look very different in kenduri and gala one, right? In that sense. Also, Malaysian students do this a lot. A lot of you put your convocation photo. Please don't do that. Okay. Takut orang tak tahu you have graduated. It's okay, we know you are graduated. So don't, you can post about your convo photo. Don't get me wrong, all right. But as your profile photo, I won't suggest you doing that, all right. In that sense, And lastly, keep a background that is simple. Don't have scenery. So for whatever reason, I know you love your university a lot. Don't need to go and take that picture in front of the UniKL emblem or sign and then put that as a profile photo, right? Not to ask you not to take the photo. You can take the photo and you can also do a posting on that, but don't use that as a profile photo, okay? Or for whatever reason, let's say you are one of those kaki travel, you travel a lot before COVID, of course, now you're suffering. But let's say you went to Paris on 3 years ago, and you took the picture with the famous Eiffel Tower, So don't put that photo. We don't want to look at Eiffel Tower. We want to look at your face, okay? It can be Eiffel Tower, can be KLCC, can be anything, right? We don't want to see that in your background. We want to see your face. So keep a plain background, as plain as possible. And better still, like in my case now, all right, have a contrast of what you wear and what is your background. So if your background is bright, wear a dark shirt or dark attire. If your background is dark, wear a bright shirt to contrast. Then the photo will look much more outstanding. Okay, so that are the 5 criteria. First criteria, updated photo. Second criteria, 60% of your face must be in the frame. Third criteria should be right expression, exude approachability. Fourth criteria is what you wear to work should be part in the picture. That's what you wear for the photo. And lastly, keep a simple background. Yes, Haswana, you have a question?
Hi, Mr. Mohan.
Yeah.
I have a question for, can I include my profile picture like using the passport photo? You know, right?
Okay. So
Can.
passport photo fulfills all the 5 criteria except number 3. Except number 3. Why number 3 is not fulfilled is because usually lah, not all the time, but usually passport and IC, when you go and do this document, you have to queue up for a very long time. So by the time you queue up for 2-3 hours, you already lesu, letih, dan marah. So this is the 3 combination. And then when you go to that, when it comes to your turn, the immigration officer say, okay, pandang kamera, pandang sini, then senyum, no matter how you try to senyum, you cannot senyum one, because it's like, saya sudah tunggu 3 jam. so that is the only thing that to watch out lah. But if your passport photo shows that you have a good, what we call the Duchenne smile. Duchenne smile is a very natural smile. Just look at not my photo, but look at the one behind it. That is a very Duchenne smile. You know, it's just like you're very natural, very engaging. If it does have that, yes, you can use it. If not, then take another picture lah. It's not so difficult, right? Just get a friend, find a wall, empty wall, you know, dress up professionally, you know, and then make sure that you are in proper lighting. Then just, you can take a picture already. You can use your phone to take a picture.
So you can see my profile picture now in Teams. Is that suitable to add as a profile picture?
Actually, I can't. So sorry, because I'm not in Teams.
Okay.
Maybe if you can. Okay. Let's do this later. Maybe you connect with me on LinkedIn, and then you LinkedIn message me. Then I can take a look at it and reply you there. All right.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So that's the profile photo, 5 criteria. Okay, second one is before I go to headline, banner. So banner is something I encourage you to change. If you don't change it now, it's light blue or light green, whichever apply. But just don't change to any photo. Don't change to photo with a nice scenery. Don't change banner to your university. Some of you put your university there. Not to say again, I got nothing against your university. Okay, I tell the same advice to all students, right? But if you look at the entire page, the banner is about 1/3 or 1/4 of the page. So it's quite a big space. So in this big space, you should maximize it. And how you maximize it, you must think that this is a digital billboard. It's a pampa tanda to advertise something. And what should you be advertising? You should be advertising yourself. So I want you to think of it as you are designing an advertisement board to advertise yourself. And by the time if anybody comes to your profile, it can be very visible. So if you look at my current banner, I put my face there again, of course, but I also have crafted some messages to show what I'm capable of, what are some of my core strengths, as well as a tagline, right, that represents my kind of work and expertise. So I encourage all of you to change this. If you're familiar with canva.com, just go to Canva. There is a ready available LinkedIn banner template. Choose the template that you like the most, and then customize the photo and the wording, okay, to reflect who you are. And then download that picture and upload it on LinkedIn, okay? Now, next one is the headline. Headline currently got 220 characters limit. And in this headline got 2 functions. First function is to grab attention so that people will be attracted to your profile. But second function is more important. The headline contains keywords that is valuable in the search algorithm for LinkedIn. So LinkedIn has a search button on top left, all right? If you can see here, top left, right? If anyone search for certain keywords, LinkedIn will first read profile's headline. That is the first place they will read first, before any part of the profile. So with that, if some of you are in marketing or in digital marketing, you understand digital marketing or in marketing as well, this is works same way in any search engine optimization, any SEO, right? Keyword search. So putting the right keywords in your headline is critical, okay, so that you can be found. So with that, I want to share a formula, okay, for headline. Oh, sorry, this one I already got. Okay. Oops. Okay. So part one in headline is put the field of your study, right? So for instance, you are doing a Bachelor of Arts in Marketing. The field of study is marketing. Okay. Now, question: why don't you put Bachelor of Arts in Marketing? Anybody? Unmute yourself and just speak. Yeah, no need to even raise your hand.
Is it because it's too long?
Yes, precisely. You want to put as many keywords as possible, right? So here you just need to put the field of discipline. No need to put your full course name so that you don't waste the characters. You want to save the characters to put other keywords as much as possible. So I find it very cute when some students or some fresh grad in their headline they put Bachelor of Science bracket honors information technology major design. Like, wow. Panjang lebar, right? No need, right? Just focus on keywords that you think that recruiters or hiring managers will search. So if you have a marketing degree, just put marketing. If you have a business degree, just put business. You have an engineering degree, just put whichever engineering, chemical engineering ka, electrical engineering ka, no, and so on and so forth, right? So that's field of discipline. Second is the industry and area of work that you want to work for, all right? And this one, you don't need to have any prior experience, internship or otherwise. So for instance, I use a chemical engineering example. So let's say you're doing chemical engineering. And as a chemical engineer, you can be in different industry. You can be in oil and gas. You can be in petrochemical. You can be in plastics. You can be in food. You can be in gloves. You know? So for instance, let's say you want to be in gloves because gloves is a hot cookie now, right? So chemical engineering, that is a field of discipline. Backslash, then you put glove there, right? Now, you may be wondering, glove sounds very out of place. Why you put glove there? Later in the about section, you explain why you put glove there, right? Because you aspire to be in this industry. And as an engineer, you can do multiple type of job. You can be a design engineer, process engineer, manufacturing engineer, and so forth. Then also put the keyword there, right? Whether you want to be a design engineer, whether you want to be a process engineer, and things like that. Put that keyword there. Or you study marketing, you can be in content marketing, you can be in digital marketing, you can be in FMCG marketing, whichever type of marketing jobs that you want, put it in your headline, okay? And then write a paragraph later in the about section to describe it. Right, lastly is uniquely you. Uniquely you got three subpart. Part one is achievement. So any major achievement that you receive. So for instance, you participated in UniKL pitch competition and you're the champion. Then letak, right? Be proud of it. Champion of UniKL Invictus Challenge, right? Or finalist in HSBC Business Case Challenge 2021, or what's the runners up in Unilever's Future League Leaders Competition 2020, whichever applies. Put it in your headline, all right? Now, nobody will search this, but it becomes uniquely you that you can shout about, okay? Part two is what jargons that your industry understands. So this one chemical, easy to show. So for instance, let's say you are a chemical engineering. Let's say you are an engineering student. Jargons that you should put in your headline includes all the software, AutoCAD, SolidWorks, MATLAB. I'm a food science or technology graduate, so I will in food science we have jargons like HACCP, GMP, ISO 22000, right? So all these things you can throw it in there. Let's say you're a finance graduate, things like all the accounting standard, IFRS, CA, GAAP, If you are into data analytics, you can put all the data analytics jargon, okay, big data, machine learning, AI, Python, MATLAB, So whatever jargons that your industry understands and look for, okay. Word of caution: please don't put Microsoft Office. Okay, it is almost a given that every job needs you to have understanding on or knowledge about Microsoft Office. However, having said that, if you have advanced Microsoft Excel skill, and this is very specific, Excel saja, and this need to be advanced Microsoft Excel, okay? Meaning, say you know how to do VBA, you know how to do macros, you know how to link multiple or hundreds of Microsoft Excel sheets, to pull data, to do VLOOKUP, and to do whatever. If you're able to do that, then you can also put that in your headline. Yes, Afif, sorry. You're muted.
So we have a question from Muhammad Afiq Hazim. Can I put team awards for achievements, not an individual awards?
Can. So if let's say you and your team participated in the hot prize competition and you are a finalist or the regional finalist, yeah, put it there, right?
Okay, I think we have another question from Muhammad Hakimi bin Jafar. For 3.1, can I put my participation in certain big programs?
Participation is not really achievement. Participation, you can talk about it in other segments. There's other segments to talk about your projects, your activities. I would rather you do that. All right. Unless you are an organizer. Let's say you are an organizer. So you are the president for TEDx UniKL. Okay, boleh. Right. So that is something that is globally recognized. And also it is something of value, right? So if you say you run TEDx UniKL or TEDx Youth KL, all these are something that you can talk about, or you are part of what else that I can think of relevant, or let's say you are into the startup community and you are part of Magic's what we call Global Accelerator Program, the GAP program, which is quite a unique program because every year they take about 30, 40 startups. For whatever reason, you are part of that. Yeah, please shout about that, right? Because it is very, very unique in terms of achievement. Yeah, but participation harder is you can participate in a lot of things and you try to cram that in, then you sound like you are pushing it. Any other question?
I think you can continue, sir.
Okay. So if you finish all this and you still got words, you got characters left, let's say you still got quota, then you can put 3.3, which is your qualities. Okay. And this is where, how to say, qualities include your soft skills, or maybe shouldn't use the word soft skills. Qualities that you want to impress upon your employers, like leadership, like problem solving, like teamwork, right? But whatever words that you put here, later you need to give a paragraph to explain and to give examples of this particular quality in your about section. Okay, so we'll come to that. Right. Yeah. So the next one is about section. First, they call this the summary page. Then LinkedIn realized it's a big mistake because when they ask you to write summary, you really write summary. Everybody write three sentence, three barisan saja. So 3 ayat saja. So LinkedIn then changed the name to call it about section. So the about section have 2,000 character limit. I think they have increased to 3,000 if I'm not mistaken. My advice to you is write until cannot write. right until maximum limit. Okay, so generally you should write about 4 paragraphs. Paragraph 1 is to describe your extracurriculum activity. Paragraph 2 is to describe your internship experience or any other work experience if you have. Paragraph 3 is to describe your projects, your assignments, okay? And if you participate anything outside of university, let's say you are in a certain NGO, you are doing some global project, you know, collaborating with some other people that is not part of your university program or activities, you can create another paragraph for that. So generally, you should have about 3 to 4 paragraphs describing this, and make sure each one you put a more detailed story. So for instance, I'll give you an example for extracurriculum. So you might say things like, throughout my university years, I'm actually in multiple leadership positions. And when I was in second year, I was the student council leader for my residential college in UPM. That college houses about 2,000 students, and I was elected as a leader for the pioneer batch, which means that I had part of my responsibility together with my other team members, student council team members, was to create an environment that is safe, engaging, and also full of activities for the other students. In my tenure as the vice president of the student council, we organized the largest career fair in UPM, right, which attracted 500 companies and participation over 5,000 students during a 2-week period. We also managed to raise sponsorship about 25,000 ringgit, which was quite a record at that time. So you break out cerita lah. So literally write a story there. Don't be shy to express yourself. Okay. Yeah. So if you are actively looking for job and placement, internship placement, you can end this segment by one sentence to say that you are looking for internship placement and you're looking for a job, okay, whichever apply, and put your email there. You can do that, all right, a call to action. Never put this in your headline, okay? So every time I see students put this in their headline, I laugh, right? They put in their headline, seeking internship September 2021 to February 2022 in their headline, or actively looking for a job, a fresh graduate. Nobody cares in your headline to start with. Number 2, LinkedIn algorithm search. Nobody will search, or no recruiter will search for internship, or no search for people who are actively looking for a job, right? So don't waste the characters in the headline. But you want to tell anybody that you are looking for a job, you should do it here, right? Put it in the last sentence. Okay. Next is experience. Experience, you should include 2 types. One is your internship experience, and others is your part-time experience, all right? Some students put their extracurriculum activities experience. Let's say they are president of what club and society. Actually, there's no hard and fast rule. You can put it here, you can put it below. There's a below extracurriculum activities or volunteering activities. So what I would suggest you to do is, if you don't have much working experience, you can put it here first. Later on, when you have more working experience, you may want to transfer down your university extracurricular activities to another segment, okay? Now, each of these allows you to write 3,000 characters as a description. Or sorry, it's 1,500 as a description. Please don't copy and paste your resume CV here. LinkedIn profile is not a digital resume CV. In a resume CV, the rule of thumb or the petua is to make it as concise as possible, as summarized as possible. In LinkedIn is to write as much as possible. It's totally opposite. Because why? Here you don't know who is reading your profile. It globally can be reading your profile. So you want to be much more encompassing, or try to cater for everybody's needs, right? Versus CV is very targeted. You know what job that you're going to apply for, what company that you're applying for. Therefore, you make it as summarized and concise, because your reader also don't have time to read all the panjang lebar story. But in LinkedIn, it's different, right? So I really suggest you don't copy and paste and put here. Don't do that, right? It is very different. So what you should be writing, okay, just to show you, you want to think of this structure lah. If you don't know what to write, so think of a structure of what you do in terms of work. Work is kata kerja in that particular experience. What is the area that you are focusing on, right? The department, the type of job, the project, the assignment, blah, blah, blah. And then what is the impact or the result or the achievement? Okay, so this is a structure. Later on, I will share some links. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I will share. Maybe I'll share the Telegram channel where you can access some of these things. Usually, I have access to the chat box that I can do that. Yeah, I think there's a question, right? If there a question or comment?
There's a comment from Amir Shafiq. Could you recall the topics for every paragraph mentioned for the about page? That's fine.
So
right?
3 to 4 paragraphs. First paragraph, extracurricular activities. Second paragraph, internship experience. Third paragraph, projects. Final year project, or if not, you don't do final year project, any significant assignment that you did during your 3 years or 4 years of university. Fourth paragraph, if you have other projects that are out of university, either you are in doing NGO work, or you are involved in some international collaboration, So yeah, so some of you do that, right? Hope that answers the question.
Yep. You can continue, sir.
Yeah, and the last one is projects. So there's a projects segment way down. You have to go all the way down in your profile, and then you can add lah. So you see in this one is under accomplishment, and there's a whole list. If you have publication, also put that in. If you have specific awards, also put that in. If you have taken any online courses, you can also put it here, right? But make sure all you give a description. The one that I want to highlight is the projects, all right? So each of the projects, I give very detailed description. And just to let you know, about 6 years ago, because of this listing or this description, detailed description, I won an international job, just like that, right? So the company or the global consulting firm was based in UK. They LinkedIn messaged me to say, hey, I saw your profile. I think you got the necessary experience for our project. Would you be interested to get into a call? So that was on a Tuesday. That was on Monday. Tuesday night, we went on a call. And then he said, oh, everything looks good. Can you meet my project director in KL, based in KL in one of the hotels for an interview on Wednesday? So I went for an interview, 3 hours. And then after that, they tell me, okay, you seem like a fit. Can you talk to another director on Thursday who was in US? So did another con call, right? Also settled that. And Friday, I started the engagement. So it was supposed to be a 10-week engagement, and was daily paid in USD. So my day rate was in USD. So it was quite lucrative, right? Not only it was just 10 weeks, it ended up to become 22 weeks. So this is one of the biggest job I did. And all because I write continuously on LinkedIn. Put a lot of things, a lot of details. So this is what I mean. I really want to just encourage you to write as much as you can. Okay, don't summarize. Okay, right. I'm done in this segment. Before I go to the next segment, is there any other question? Just to check. Okay, if you have, just put it in the chat, or unmute yourself. Raise your hand, unmute yourself as well. Right. So strategy 2 is to start connecting with professionals. So in Afik's case, every day he will have a target between 3 to 5 people that he want to connect with. And these 3 to 5 people that he want to connect with are the people working in organization or companies that he want to work for in the future. Maybe not directly after he graduates, but it could be 10 years down the road, 15 years down the road, 20 years down the road. But he's building relationship now. Okay, so it is need to be forward looking in that sense. So for that to happen, you go to the search button, type the company that you want to work for, see who work in this company that you can connect with, check their profiles, see whether they are active or not on LinkedIn, and then send them a connection to invite, right? And when you send them a connection to invite, make sure, when you look at their profiles, you go to the section on activity, okay? Activity will suggest whether this person is active or not. So if in my case, when I'm active, I'm an active person on LinkedIn, you will see there are postings, there are comments and things on the activity function. If the activity function of the person that you're trying to connect with shows that past 90 days, no activity, that means this person is inactive. So do not connect with inactive people because it doesn't help you in your course, all right? Or in your focus, in what you want to do in your objective. So that is one way to check. And then when you send invite, please don't send directly, add a personalized note. When you add a personalized note, it increases the chance to actually get connected. So this is a sample I did for students, but you can just change UniKL and your UniKL tagline. One of the things I would suggest is to target all your seniors or all your alumni who is in the industry. And if you do not know who is your alumni, go and ask your career center or alumni center. Go and ask the alumni center, who are the alumni, UniKL alumni who is a big corporate person today. Then you go and target them on LinkedIn and then start to add them, right? In that sense. So remember, in other social media sites, we encourage you not to add people you don't know, right? Because there are a lot of scammers and whatever. But on LinkedIn, I will ask you to do otherwise. You add as many people as possible, but in this case, you add people that will contribute to your future, okay? People will ask me whether it's okay to add foreign people, people from foreign countries. I would say just be more realistic. If you think that you can expand your career out of Malaysia, the realistic countries will be places like Singapore, Indonesia, Vietnam, Thailand, Philippines, right? The Southeast Asia countries, right? But if you say, oh, no, there's this guy from US that added me, or I want to add this guy in US so that I can work in US, that is a bit unrealistic, especially for a fresh graduate, okay? So there are scammers on LinkedIn as well. Like, I wouldn't say there aren't, all right? So if you do get a connection invite from anyone that is out of this region, especially there's a lot from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh that constantly connect with others, right? Again, I'm not biased towards the South Asian countries, all right? I also apply the same logic to those coming from China. So China and Taiwan also a lot, right? They will start adding you. And then the moment you accept, then they will sell you something, or they will try to push to sell you something. So don't worry. If you accepted their invitation and they try to spam you with some sales speech or try to get you to invest in something, and you feel uncomfortable and you think that this is not what you want, you can remove them connection. So you can go to their profile, you can hit the more button, you can remove as connection. So even after you added. But my general rule of thumb is if it comes from any of these countries and it is not in an area of professional work that I do. So for instance, I do a lot of HR advisory work. So if this person add me is not a HR person, let's say he add me from India and he's not a HR person, I will naturally reject it or ignore it because I don't see how that person add values to me, right? So if let's say it's in my area, HR, then okay, I still can consider, right? Same goes for anybody from UK, US, and so on and so forth, right? But in the region, I'm more willing. So if it's coming from Vietnam, it's coming from Thailand, it's coming from Indonesia, yes, because I do see myself have an opportunity to actually either work in these countries or also, run my business there. So it's a matter of realism, so just be more practical. So the next strategy is on a daily basis, you should comment and engage, right? So you can do actually strategy 3 first before 2, or do 2 first before 3. You can interchange. There's no strict order. Definitely, you need to do 1 first. After you do 1, 2 and 3 is interchangeable. And in Afik's case, he does this very well. Because why? As a professional corporate manager, I can tell you, any posting that we do on LinkedIn, maximum we will get 20, if not 30 comments. There are only a few individuals on LinkedIn that get hundreds, if not 1,000 comments. Who are they? Tan Sri Tony Fernandez, because he's so popular. So whatever he posts, even posts picture of his bayi, his newborn baby, a few hundred comments, right? Who else? Tengku Zafro, which is currently our finance minister, right? Before that, he was CIMB CEO, right? If Tengku Zafro posts, also may have a lot of comments. The other one is also politician, YB Ong Kian Meng, who is also quite active on LinkedIn. So when YB posts, of course, as a politician, people will either support him or hantam him, whichever apply. That works in most social media when it comes to politician, right? But other than all these individual, who else? Maybe Rafizi Ramli. Rafizi has been trying very hard for the last 2 years, tell everybody he's not a politician, he's a businessman. but yeah, his posts also get quite a bit of engagement and comments. But for the rest of the world, we don't have much comments, maximum 20 for each posting. So if you are a student commenting on our post, we will definitely check out your profile. Definitely is the word. Because we are very curious why this anak muda have this perspective towards our posting. So this is a strategy to actually create attention or visibility for yourself. And this is what our friend Afik do very, very well. Okay, so just read posts, right? Read the post. And in this case, you don't need to wait for the post to come to your feed. You can target their posts. You can go to this individual's profile, and then you go to the activity section, and you can look at what posting they have done, and you find the posting that most relevant that you can comment. Then comment with your point of view, comment with a question, comment with affirmation. Affirmation in the sense to say that, so Afik will do something like that, all right? I dramatizing, but I don't think I'm wrong because I've seen it a few times. This is not the exact thing he wrote, but something along this line. So he will write something like, let's say Azwan Baharudin posts posting about digital transformation in the telco industry. So Afik will put something like, oh, so Azwan, this is one of the most interesting perspective in digital transformation with the telco industry. From your posting, I learned, or from your article, I learned that there are actually 3 major processes that telco needs to undertake, which I wasn't aware before this. And it's really enlightening to see how the telcos are coping with it and how Accenture is supporting them in their venture, blah, blah. So you will write, very comprehensive point of view. Okay. 80% of the time, he will agree with them. 20% of the time, he will agree to disagree. That is the powerful one. Okay. And you can also use this strategy because why? You can throw your youth card, you can throw your millennial card. So you write something like this, this is very good, very insightful, blah, blah, blah. However, having said that, this particular point, I may need to disagree with you, sir, because as a youth or as a millennial, I think the perspective is very different for the young people. Then he give his reason, right? So you need to be courageous enough on a daily basis to comment on this post for these corporate leaders in order to grab their attention, that leading to a conversation. And if you have a few conversations, then you build a relationship. And once you build a relationship, then you can actually, monetize. Monetize in the sense that you can ask for favors, right? The problem in most young people or fresh graduate is what they do is they send me an invitation to connect. I accept it. After I accepted it, first thing they ask me is for a job. First thing they ask me is for an internship placement. It is very transactional if you do that because you don't have a relationship with me, right? And you got no right also. No right is the word. No right to ask for a favor if you don't know me. Okay, so learn to build relationship over a period of 3 to 6 months before you coming to the point where you ask for a favor. That is what I will sarankan. So if you can, okay, sorry. So later I will share a Telegram channel with you. The Telegram channel contains all the LinkedIn tips which I talk about. And there's also short videos in this channel. The videos are 5 to 6 minutes long. Unlisted YouTube links, unlisted YouTube videos, which you only can access from this Telegram channel. You cannot find that on YouTube. And in the same Telegram channel, I have hashtag at least, I think, 14 posts, which the hashtag of comment challenge. So this comment challenge I created for any fresh graduate or undergraduate like yourselves. If you're not comfortable commenting in corporate managers posting, right, I would encourage you to start with these 14 postings, which these people are what we call young graduate friendly. So they won't mara you and they won't have a negative perception against you if you comment on their posts, okay? Even you say the wrong thing, right? They are quite kind and nice people. Just to context, I never arrange with them, right? I never tell them upfront, but I know them personally and watch them over some time, so I know they are quite generous and quite forgiving. So I want you to take this opportunity to practice, because practice makes perfect. So by practicing on these 14 posts, then you are become more comfortable in commenting in corporate managers' posts. Then you can start commenting in those managers that you want to build a relationship with, okay, in moving forward. So the next strategy is to post, okay? So for graduates, for fresh graduates, sorry, for undergraduates like you, there's only 3 things that you need to post, okay? What are 3 things? First is your extracurriculum activities. So at least once a week, you post a posting with regards to your extracurriculum activities, okay? It could be programs you have attended, programs that you organize, programs that or the meetings that you've done, right? Give a description of what you did, what was your challenges, and then put a photo there, okay? If you have done many activities in your first year and now you are in your final year, you can also use a throwback kind of way. So, you can talk about, in your first semester, this activity you done, and you can just put there, right? You can also give the date there just to validate it so that when others read, they know that you did this in your first year. So seeing is believing, I would say. The more you put, the better people understand your involvement in these activities and what you're capable of. Again, this is very different from the CV model because CV is one line. So let's say you are president of the business club in UniKL. You only appear that as one sentence. Okay? That will only appear as one sentence in your CV. But on LinkedIn, if you do multiple posting as the business club president, you can really show your capability and your experiences there. And with the pictures that you add on, it really add credentials. You can even put videos. You can even put, your, let's say you presented, you work very hard on an assignment. Okay. Sorry, that's the second one. Okay, so the first one is extracurricular activities. Second one is on your final year project or your assignments, whichever apply, right? So especially doing final year project is a very stressful situation. You spend a lot of time, and usually the output is just a thesis, that you write. And that thesis usually after you written it sits in your university library or one copy to your supervisor, and that's it, one copy to you. But if you can document your journey doing your final year project, that will be very impactful to the future employers, that will evaluate you based on your determination, based on your problem-solving capability, based on your, influencing skills, when you talk to the different stakeholders for a final year project. Also, in assignment, let's say you don't do final year project, but you have all this university assignment, and some of this assignment you do extra well, okay? I would suggest you share the PowerPoint deck as a posting, because you can actually attach a PDF form, save your PowerPoint for your assignment, your final presentation as a PDF, and upload this on LinkedIn as a posting. Because if I'm able to see your final presentation slide, and let's say it's a good one, don't share bad quality ones, okay? Share good quality ones. Even though it's a group effort, you are able to show your future employers this is the quality of your work, and can be seen one, right? Can be seen the type of information you write, the report you write, the slides that you prepare, and so on and so forth. If you have. Third is to share your internship experience as a posting. So if you go for a 12 weeks internship, I would suggest every 2 weeks you do a posting on your internship. The specific nature of it is what you learn, okay? That is important. Now, besides these three, what else can you post, or what else you should not post, okay? I would not encourage you to post you have attended this and this webinar, and you put the certificate there without stating what is your learning point. So for instance, if any one of you want to post this morning's webinar later, tonight, this afternoon or tonight, you can. But please post not you attended this session, please post what you learned from this session. That is the most important point, okay? Not what you, not because you attended, what you learned. Sorry. Okay. The other thing is this one come to my earlier contention about personal branding. We are asking you to be on this platform so that you can connect with professionals, build relationship, and contribute to your employability. We are not asking you to be on this platform to be popular. So if you follow any personal branding guru advice, or a lot of this LinkedIn guru advice, they're teaching you how to become popular on this platform. So one of the things that they will give you advice is you must find a type of content that is very engaging. Yeah. What is the type of content that is very engaging? Actually, it's cat videos. The answer is cat videos on the internet, right? So don't fall into the trap of posting viral content to create visibility for yourself, because that kind of visibility don't translate into anything for you. Okay, so I got a lot of students after attending my class, they are very gung-ho, they follow my advice. Then after 3rd week, they fall into this trap. Then they started to tell me, hey, Muihan, I'm very stressed. I don't know what to post. I say, I only ask you to post 3 things, but your extracurricular activity, your final year project, your internship experience. Oh, said no lah. I'm trying to be active because I read somewhere that if I post every day, then I will be more, visible to the community. So every day I'm trying to think of what topic to post. If you fall into that trap, number 1, you stress yourself out. Number 2, then you find yourself that you'll be posting things of what we call flavor of the week or flavor of the month. So when Squid Game is the flavor of the week or flavor of the month, everybody do a posting on Squid Game. You also ikut need to do a posting on Squid Game. Even though you didn't watch Squid Game, then you force yourself to go and watch Squid Game, on torrent or whatever. Then you want to do a posting on Squid Game. If the topic of the week was Thomas Cup, maybe Thomas Cup wasn't the topic of the week because we kecundang very fast. The topic of the week was Sudirman Cup. Wow, then you also needed to post about our Sudirman Cup players in that sense, when it was Olympic, everybody talk about Olympic, when you talk about budget, and everybody you will talk. So don't do that, right? Don't do that for simple reason, because this kind of posting, while it may generate a lot of conversation, but those conversation doesn't help you to build good relationship as well as to position yourself for employability. The other reason why you shouldn't do that is, okay, just to show you some example. So this is an example of a student from UPM. One of the first, Anissa was one of the first people that I taught about 3-4 years ago. And I didn't ask her to do in this format, but she did it by herself. So once I shared with her posts about your extracurricular activities, she do a series of this kind of posting. Venue, time, and put a picture there with a caption. Hopefully I got more. Yes, you see? So got more, right? So just to give you some example, so she put when she attended it, what happened, then put a picture, So got many of these, right? I just screenshot a few just to show you, right? Now, you don't need to do it in this format, but this is just an idea that you can follow if you want to, right? Azam here also attended my class. Azam was from UTHM. A few times he attended my class, all right? So he posts about his internship experience. Then he put a picture with his supervisor in Kimberley Clark. Okay, lastly was Yvonne. Yvonne was from University Malaysia Sabah. And then she talked about her final year project or mini final year project, which she went to the longhouse to stay with the families. Okay, so these are the things you can try. All right, but coming back to the strategy, when you post is to profile yourself, is to let other people take a look at it, so that if anyone want to check you out on LinkedIn, they have better understanding of who you are as a candidate. But if nobody reads it and nobody comments on it, don't be discouraged, okay? Because you are also posting it for yourself to read. What do I mean by that? This LinkedIn posting should be your digital diary of all your achievement, all your experiences in university. Because a lot of times when we go for a job interview, especially your first job interview, 30 minutes before the job interview, you are naturally very nervous. Whether the job interview is a virtual job interview or a face-to-face job interview. So in order to calm yourself down, and these days we got the benefit of having our mobile phones with us all the time, unless you interview in the US Embassy, which they take your mobile phone in front, right? But I don't think any one of you interviewing a job in the US Embassy. Probably the Prime Minister Department, which are the other area they took my phone. I think PMO still can bring phone, but they need to scan. Anyway, before you go into the job interview, go onto your LinkedIn account with your mobile phone, right? And then scroll back everything that you have posted over the last 2 to 3 years. And you have just posted, based on my advice, posted purely on extracurricular activity, posted purely on your projects, purely on your internship experience, then it will serve as a reminder to you all the achievement, all the great things that you have done just before your interview process. And when you walk into the interview room, you are much more confident, able to tell the story that matter. If you use your LinkedIn account as how you use your Twitter account or your Instagram account, then it become very rojak. Then it's very hard. Instagram better. I think Instagram you can classify it, right? Twitter become very rojak, Every other day you post different thing, or every day you post three things. Then later on when we want to scroll back what you have posted, it becomes like rojak. So it's very hard for you to concentrate. So I would suggest that you still follow that advice of mine to focus on that 3 things. If you want to use LinkedIn for your employability, right? If you want to use LinkedIn to become an influencer, then it's a different story, all right? Then that advice don't apply. And lastly is to just be consistent about it, all right? So you need to create what we call a cadence. Cadence, that means consistency in doing something. Always focus on your goals and objectives. And I will define for you all, your goals and objectives on LinkedIn is always to find a job, right? If anything else happen, it's a bonus, okay? So with that, I want to end with this quotation by Bruce Lee. So Bruce Lee always say long-term consistency will always win against short-term intensity, right? So you need to do this over a period of time, right? Not today you do, tomorrow you get result. I will be very honest with you. You need to consistently do it between 3 to 6 months before you see any result. Yeah, that is the commitment that is needed. And I would say not many undergraduates do this. But if you are one of them who do it, you will definitely be successful. Okay, so yes, I think I've come to my end. Any questions? Maybe you can go for Q&A.
All right. We have a question from Nurhanadi bin Junaidi. What is the event we want to post into our feed is a past event, like an online event we organized a year ago, not in real time. Can we still post it?
Yes, I always say you can do the throwback You can do the throwback function. Yeah, definitely you can.
All right, fellow audience, if you have any other questions related to LinkedIn for Sir Moihan, please unmute your microphone or you can type it in the chat box below. And remember that after the Q&A session, we will have a photography session, and do ensure that you can use the backdrop as listed in the chat box for your background. Yes. Siti Fariha has a question. And Teams is loading. What's the best way to connect with new people in the app?
I think you can start commenting first. Yeah. So once you comment, you build a rapport. After a few comments, then you can drop them a personalized note to say that, like to connect with you and also work towards learning more from you. So personalized notes is very important for connection purposes.
And Siti Hajar Noshafika asks, how do you maximize engagement in LinkedIn? Is it the same answer as before?
I think maximizing engagement is a function of engaging with others. So if you are aware of this particular individual by the name of Gary Vaynerchuk, or short for Gary V. So Gary V is the social media king. He experimented heavily first on Instagram, then on many other platforms, right? So in Instagram, he discovered, or he coined what we call the $1.80 strategy, the $1.80 strategy, right? So what is the $1.80 strategy is, in English, we have this terminology called the 2 cents worth. So what is the 2 cents worth is you give an opinion, you give a perspective, right? So in Gary Vee's definition, every time you comment on somebody's post, you are giving a 2 cents worth, quote unquote, right? In that sense. So $1.80 is actually 92 cents, right? So what crazy thing that Gary Vee do every day when he first started was to target 20 top influencers on Instagram and do at least 90 comments on their posts. Okay. Ini orang gila lah. Dia tak tidur. So he worked until 2-3 a.m. every day. Then he became very popular, very big. And then subsequently, 3-4 years after that, he moved on to LinkedIn. And he repeated to say that the $1.80 strategy also worked on LinkedIn, right? So the same logic applies. Now, I don't suggest you do $1.80 strategy because you have nothing else better to do, right? I would suggest that maybe you should try with 5, the 10-cent strategy, okay? So if you can focus to give 5 comments on a daily basis on professional managers posting, and this posting may not even appear in your feed. You purposely go and look for them, right? Let's say you want to work for Maybank, and you look for maybe the division in Maybank that you want to work for. Who are the corporate managers in there, or who are the directors there? And you see what type of things they post on LinkedIn if they're posting. If they're not posting, then you cannot use this strategy. But if they're posting, then maybe you want to coin a few response for the comments on a daily basis to just engage them. And then they will definitely respond to your comments if your comments make sense and is bernas in a sense. So yeah, that's how you create a conversation, and that becomes viral. Even commenting on other people's posts become viral. Your comments will appear in their feed. So with the same way, if any one of you have not connected with me, I will encourage you to connect with me on LinkedIn. Reason being is I'm not trying to gather followers. To be honest, I don't need the followers. But the moment you connect with me, I have access to 16,000. You have access to my 16,000 connection. Okay. So how LinkedIn works is like that. There's a degree of connections. Let's say you are connected to me, your first level. If you are connected to somebody but it's not connected to me, then that somebody that is connected to you but because of you are connected to me. Okay, maybe I should paint this in a simple manner, not very confusing. Let's say I'm connected to Afif, right? and on LinkedIn. So Afis is my first level connection, right? And let's say somebody else, whose name I can use. Siapa boleh pinjam nama sini? Now see your name. uh, okay, let's say I put a name. Okay, challenge in Teams is right. Let's say Adil. Okay, so Adil is connected to Afif, but not connected to me. So in LinkedIn connection, it will show that Adil is my second level connection. That's how it works. All right. So, but why is this important? This level of connection is important is because Afif is connected to me. Right. Every time Afif comments on my post, right, Adil will see it, or YCT will see, or my connection second level, my connection will also see Afif's comment on my post, which my connections are actually second level connection to Afif, right? So when you're connected to me, you technically have exposure to my 16,000 connections or followers. And that 16,000, I would say 40% of them are corporate managers. The other 60% are people like you. Because every session I go, I say the same thing. So over time, they've done that, right? So that is the basis. That is the basis.
All right, next question is from Muhammad Amirul Arif. If we have joined any professional certificate, which part can we put it in LinkedIn, such as, I guess he is referring to e-certificates?
There is a part where certification and courses attended, right at the bottom, just where I show you projects in accomplishment in the same tab. When you hit it, yeah, you can find it there.
All right, from Mr. Muhammad Adlan. For the description, should you write it in a third-person perspective or a first-person perspective?
First person, yes. First person. Always first person. Think of the about section as your elevator pitch, your written format as an elevator pitch. Let's say you're meeting a person for the very first time. That is what you will say to that person, but it's in a written format. Yeah.
And how much do you include in the description? I guess
You cannot write.
All right, and question from One Sarah Haifa. I want to ask, what are the best ways to approach a recruiter in LinkedIn?
So when you ask the question of recruiter, you got to be more specific. So there are two types of recruiters or three types of recruiters in the market, or in definition. So first type is a professional recruiter. Some people call them the headhunter, or they work for a recruitment agency. So what are recruitment agency? Things like Michael Page, Michael Page, Robert Walters, Hayes Group, right? Sorry, not Hayes Group, Hayes, right? Hayes, right? So these are professional recruitment agencies. They are recruiters. So on a daily basis, they are trying to connect with as many people as possible to build their database. Sometimes they have a vacancy that fits you, sometimes they don't, but they have individual targets to connect with as many people as possible, understand some of your career considerations, so that in future, if they do have a vacancy with one of their clients, then they can reach out to you, right? Now, this group of recruiters, no need to overthink, right? Because they are also more than willing to connect with you. So you can just add them. They will accept you one, not an issue, right? But be in mind, they are very transactional. They're going to have time to talk to you one, because their type of work is very voluminous one. It's all about a numbers game. And how a professional recruitment agency works is they will try to submit as many candidates as possible for the jobs advertised. And then any of these successful candidates that get employed, then they will get a reward. They will get a fee. So it's a success fee kind of thing. They don't get paid a fixed fee. They get paid a success fee. So to them, time is money, right? Because they need to submit as many potential candidates to the company to look at, right? So those are, you can always add one, because they will always add you one. And that's why on LinkedIn, it's not the influencer got the most followers or the most connection. It's the recruiter that gets the most followers, because everybody will add them, right? And they're willingly to add you. That's the first time. The other one is the recruitment manager in the company. So like the story I was sharing with you, that was EY, Ernst and Young recruitment manager. The person actually works for EY itself, right? Now, I would suggest you target this group of people to build a relationship and connection with, right? So you can actually look at what they post, and usually they will be posting job vacancies about their company and firms. Now, this is something usually young people don't do, right? But I challenge you to be the first one to do, or the first few to do, in that sense. You go to find all these recruitment managers posting, and usually it's a job advertisement. Instead of responding to the job advertisement, because probably you have not graduated yet or you're not graduating soon, you comment on this posting to say, oh, very interesting, that you have this an opportunity in your particular company organization. Just wanted to check what will be some of the requirements needed for this kind of role, especially on a technical level or on a soft skill level. So you try to strike a conversation with the recruitment manager, right? Now, he or she may or may not respond to you, but because nobody does this, you wouldn't know, right? So you may want to start this conversation at just looking at advertisement, that a job that you don't want to apply because you're not qualified yet or you're not ready to apply for. But you can always start a conversation, then later, let's say he or she PM you or ask you to PM her to get more information. Then you explain yourself to say that, hey, you got actually another 6 months before you graduate, but to prepare yourself because you're interested to work for the company, you want to know more about their culture, about their requirements, and so on and so forth. So all this is conversation point in building a relationship. Okay, so that is the second type of recruitment or recruiter. The third type is the hiring manager. That means I work for EY. I'm the consulting lead in EY. I have a vacancy for a junior position or an analyst position. I will tell my recruitment manager to find me candidates for me to interview. But you can also approach these people on LinkedIn, and they may not say that they are recruiting, but you can build relationship with them at any time, so that in moving forward, when there's a need to recruit, then you'll be top of their mind. So this is the one that I strongly encourage you to actively connect, comment, and build relationship with, based on the strategies that I share with you, right? So those are the three types.
Okay, second to last question from Muhammad Hakimi. Mr. Mui, if we have a problem in communication, do you think that it will be difficult to engage the people in LinkedIn?
Need to define what you mean by communication problem. Don't really understand that.
Okay, we'll get back to the question later. All right, final question from Siti Zulaika. Hello, I would like to know if we should subscribe to a LinkedIn premium account to get better opportunities, and what are the different LinkedIn memberships all about?
Answer is no lah. Don't waste the money. There's no significant difference to LinkedIn Premium, although they keep promoting it. LinkedIn Premium have few features. Number one is LinkedIn Learning, which is an e-learn. Of course, the courses are good, but most of the time, if you are not the e-learn kaki, no need to spend the money, because the subscription is 550 USD a year. It translates almost to 2,600 ringgit or even more, depending, right? I subscribe to it because of my business need. It gives that the next function, which is very useful, which is to allow you to email. That means you can private message anybody who's not your connection as well, right? So I just kept it there in case I need to do business development and all. But as a student or fresh graduate or even an undergraduate, this functionality is actually not so useful in that sense. Yeah, if you want to connect with the person or you want to talk to the person, better you start commenting on their posts, start, positioning yourself. Then they talk to you for free, why you need to pay, quote unquote, right? And you are not earning money to this. So I wouldn't suggest you subscribe to it.
All right. going back to the previous question, let's just say if we need to meet the LinkedIn person in real life and we have poor communication skills, do you think it will affect our networking?
Okay, this is where I want to promote. I nearly wanted to say the word sell, and sell is a bad word because then you think that I'm trying to sell you this. I'm not. I want to share this. So after running so many programs in different universities for the last 4 years, I come to this basis, and I have said this earlier in my presentation, but if you have not picked this up, let me just repeat this. The only way for you to become better in communication, to become more employable, to become better at networking is all about practice, practice, and practice. Okay. So one of the reasons why local Malaysian university graduates find it harder to get a job compared to foreign university graduates, besides the biasness, is also because you have lack of contact time with professionals. Okay, so for instance, when I was in PwC, every month I have interns. And who are these interns? They are Malaysian students that went to UK universities, Australian universities, American universities that come back for their summer holiday. So their summer holiday is 3 months, but they will come to the Big Four to do internship for 1 or 2 months. And some of them will start in their first year. So imagine you compare yourself to these foreign university graduates. They do internship every year. First year do, second year do, third year do, and then the final year, they will do it in UK or Australia or America. Then they come back to work. So by the time they come out to work, their first CV itself have 4 internship experiences or 5 internship experiences. Quite extensive, all right? So at the CV level already, our local graduates, we lose out because we only do 1. I also did 1, to be honest, right? When you compare like that, then it's a big disparity. Number 2 is because of that 4-5 internship experience, they have also exposed themselves more to corporate people, more to business people compared to local graduates. Because of that contact time, then they are less, they are less worried, and they are more confident, and they are more comfortable. They are more comfortable and they are more confident when they talk to corporate and business people. Okay, so my hypothesis or my theory is, for you to enhance your graduate employability, you need to talk to business people, corporate people more now, and if can, every week, at least 1 to 2 hours. So that was my idea. So I've been preaching this idea for the last 4 years, tak kesampaian, because university student like yourself, after you get inspired by my talk to this morning, then by this afternoon you have a lot of things coming out, then latte and whatever, and before you know it, you forgot about this idea, right? And then some of you decide to take my advice to say, yes, Muihan said correct one, I must do this. So I usaha her. Then you also start to think, hey, how to talk to corporate business people on a weekly basis. Susah lah, like takut lah, and things like that. So to solve all this problem, and also thanks to MCO continue this year, so I started a platform on a Friday evening, every Friday night. In fact, last night I was up until 11:30. Every Friday between 8:30 to 10 o'clock or 10:30, 2 hours. Right? We have a Zoom session that allows fresh graduates, young graduates, undergraduates like yourself to join this session to meet professional corporate managers. Okay? And this is not a webinar. It's not a 2-hour session where you sit back and listen to somebody talk, to a speaker talk. There's no speaker in this case. The moment you come in, we do some quick introductions, about 10 minutes. And then we will assign you to a breakout room. In the breakout room, there will be 3-4 what we call participants or mentees that will be sharing a room with an experienced business professional, which we call a mentor. Sometimes we put 2 mentors in the room. Currently, I have 40 mentors part of this movement. Okay, and every week I have easily 20 of them showing up. and I have a constant participation of 40 to 50 students or young graduates. Now, the point is this. Actually, I can accommodate more, but I don't have enough participants. Not say don't have lah. I can have more participants. My Zoom account can go up to 300 people. And I got a lot of mentors, a lot of corporate people say they want to be mentors. I have to hold them back because why? I don't have that number of participation. So even the mentors, at one time, I asked all 40 of them to come every week. Now I limit. I say you come one month you come twice only, right? So you delay the date and all. But if I ask them to come every week, they actually want to come every week. So I just completed the 37th session last night. Every Friday night without fail we run it, except for Chinese New Year we stop 1 week. Labor Day we stop 1 week. Hari Raya we stop 1 week. Last week was Deepawali, right? Besides these 5 weeks, every week we ran, right? And even in the month of Ramadan, okay, first the Muslim mentors and Muslim participants, or the active participants say, "Hey, Muihan, you go ahead lah, don't stop, because it's a good thing you continue to do. But as Muslims, please excuse us because month of Ramadan we have our Tarawih prayers, we want to go for our Tarawih prayers, right?" So he said, no, we are not like that. We are very inclusive. So for the month of Ramadan, we still ran it, but we move it to a Saturday morning. Okay, so we have not stopped since the start of January. The end of January, which was our first session on 29, 37 already, right? Every week I have easily 50, 60 people participating. So I would really encourage you to join us because why? This is the one you practice and you can make all the mistakes here. You can improve your confidence, your maturity, and nobody is judging you because none of the mentors are recruiting anyway, right? And whether you good, no good, the whole idea is to help you, to push you out of your comfort zone, to push you to speak to them. The mentors will make you introduce yourself, make you give your opinion and things like that. When you put you in the breakout room, it's about 45 minutes to 50 minutes, you and the mentor, right? 3-4 of you with one mentor. Sometimes less participant will be 2 to a mentor or 1 to 1. We also got situation where it's 1 to 1. So yeah, so allow me to maybe just share slides again. I'll give you the details of how you can join us in a short while. Let me just do that. Okay, if I can share my slide. Okay, can you all see it? Right. So so every Friday night, we are doing on Zoom, okay, and it's not a webinar. Just to remind you, come, you need to talk. So please come with questions to ask the mentors. And yeah, I forgot to mention the mentors. I think my next slide has it. So I have a very diverse group of mentors. I have people like Dato Alia Karen. She is very experienced in the area of mental health. She ran a foundation for 20 over years as a CEO. Today, she sits on multiple boards of hospitals, right? She also run, mental health programs and things like that. Then next to her, right, is this gentleman by the name of Shahrul Nizam, Muhammad Noor. Shahrul Nizam is actually the head of talent management for Tenaga Nasional Berhad, TNB, right? Next to Shahrul is Li Yatong. Li Yatong used to be the lead trainer for Siemens China, right? So he was very experienced. This guy was a military man for the 20 years. Then he changed his career, go into corporate, first in the fashion industry, so and then end up in a multinational, Siemens, the German company, and he was running the entire learning for Siemens Asia Pac, right? Below him is Ezwan Zakaria. Ezwan today works for a EPU unit in the Prime Minister Department, but Ezwan has 25 years of supply chain experience in the oil and gas field. He has worked for Hess, Charigali, Shell at one time as well, right? And then Dini, Dini was in Winda. Next to Bini was Si Ngiam Wei, Si Wei Ngiam, or Ngiam as we call him. Mr. Ngiam was the Kimberly Clark HR director before this. Today he's run his own consulting firm, right? And then bottom, you go to bottom on your far left, Alice. Alice was the GM of Putrajaya Holdings. Okay. Today, I mean, she has running her own training consulting. Right? Taranjit next to him was the Hay Group Consulting, the HR global HR consulting firm country manager for the longest time ever before he moved on to run his own setup. And the far right person, Zorab was the head of talent management for AXA Afin. So all these people are my mentors. They are all very experienced and they got only one objective, which is to help young people like you to build your confidence, to make sure that you have a conversation on a weekly basis, at least for 1 hour, to improve your knowledge, to improve your perspective, and definitely to improve your maturity. So, and the best part, there's no fee whatsoever. Nobody is charging you anything. We don't want to call it free. So the only asking we are asking for if you join us for a period of time and it works for you and you get the job that you want and you are very successful in your career, we hope that in future you will return the favor to help the next generation of Malaysia students. Okay. So this is our next session. The QR code is there. You can just scan to register. Every week we have a registration link, okay? Because we want to track attendance, who is coming. And I'm very stressful as an organizer because I need to arrange enough mentors for enough participants, right? So that's why we want you to register. So if you are available next Friday, please sign up now. I will really guarantee to tell you that you won't regret it. You won't regret it. Or at least come once to observe, right? Or to participate just to try, right? If you want more information, you can go to LinkedIn, search for Prime for Success, right? There's a page which shows you all the mentors' background, as well as the participants' feedback of what they experienced, what they learned, right? So to give you some comfort. Right. This is the Telegram channel with regards to all the LinkedIn techniques which are created. You can also subscribe to this channel. And the good thing about Telegram is you subscribe today, you can scroll back all the way up to the first posting. I think the first posting on 20th May 2020. In the first posting, there are 3 postings in the first day. I gave templates for personalized note when you invite, when you connect with professional managers, right? So you can take a look at that. And also you can find the comment challenge. Just now I talked about the comment challenge is in this channel, right? This is in Telegram. I also got a Facebook page. This Facebook page has other tips besides LinkedIn, right? Or mainly focus on other tips. Well, what type of tips I have? Career tips, interview tips, all right? And also one category which I created, any job placement or job advertisement which I see or friends refer to me that requires fresh graduate or even internship opportunity, I will repost it here as a one-stop center. Now, the only thing I want to qualify, I'm not a recruiter. I don't know about the job. I'm just doing this for the benefit of young people like you. It's like a one-stop center. Okay. Okay. If you can do me a favor, for those who are brave enough to do me this favor, if you find today my sharing has been valuable to you, I would request that you give me a testimonial or recommendation on LinkedIn. Now, I don't really need your testimonial, but actually I want to have the number because the more recommendations I get, my reach is wider on LinkedIn, and I want to connect with as many young people as possible so that they will also benefit from some of the programs and activities that we are doing. Okay, me and the mentors, the 40 of them, we are very committed to help to improve employability of Malaysian university graduates like yourself, right? So we want to have that maximum coverage and exposure. So by contributing to the recommendation page in my LinkedIn profile, I will have a greater reach, right? So what you do is you go to my LinkedIn page, my profile, you click onto the more on the right, all right? Then you can click on there's a recommend button, and they will ask you what relationship. So you can put that you are my client, you are Muihan's client, right? There's a drop-down menu for that, right? And what position is I'm the founder and facilitator of Prime for Success. If you can do me this favor, if you found today's session useful for you. Okay, so that's it. I stop here for.
All right. Thank you, sir, for answering the audience's question. Sincerely apologize that we have to cut this session short since time is not really on side. Okay, we will now move on from Q&A to the photography session with the speaker and audience. I would like to encourage my fellow audience to turn on their cameras and use the background provided in the chat box so that we can commemorate this moment with our honored guest speaker for taking his time to educate us on how to fully utilize LinkedIn and help us for our future careers. You can turn on your cameras now. All right.
Okay. Satu, dua, tiga. Satu, dua, tiga. Depan. Satu, dua, tiga. Satu, dua, tiga. Satu, dua, tiga.
Alright, on behalf of UniKL MESTECH, many thanks to you again, Sir Koh Muihan, for giving us pointers and teaching us how to use LinkedIn. We hope that you enjoyed participating in this event as the speaker as much as we enjoyed learning from an expert. I hope that you may want to attend our future events if we were to invite you again. And alright, that's all for now, sir. You can leave the meeting now, and we wish you all the best. And as for the fellow audience, you may stay for a while for the lucky draw session before we end our event for the day. Don't miss out. Also, while our committee is setting some stuff up, you may fill in the feedback form in the chat box as proof of your attendance as we take a short recession. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much. Hope to get connected with all of you on LinkedIn. All right, and all the best to you in your career search. And then if any opportunities to do more sharing with you, feel free to invite me. But with that, thank you so much to all the organizers for this opportunity. All right, terima kasih ya.
Ada mau lagi? Nak tengok belah sini kuat ke belah sini kuat? Let's go! Let's go! One more time, let's go! Semua style. This is the best convo ever. Thank you for having me. Mari kita nyanyi ya. Aku mahu salam, lupakan hari semalam. Sementara masih ada hajat cinta di dada. Let's go. Malam ini apa dia? Layan ini sampai pagi. Apa nak jadi? Biar jadi. Janji jangan lupa diri. Let's go. Ini cerita orang muda hanya mahu bernyawa. Ini cerita darah muda, oh selamanya. Joget pulanglah malam ini. Bintang-bintang di langit sedang menari. Janji aku padamu, kita kekal sampai tua. Pulanglah malam ini. Bintang-bintang di langit sedang menari. Janji aku padamu, kita kekal sampai. UniKL Sporting. Hey. Okay, selfie, selfie, selfie. Let's do it. UniKL, are you ready? 1, 2, lompat. Woo! Yes, we're ready. And we're ready. This combo. 1, 2, 3, yo, na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Darah muda untuk anda semua, tahniah. Today we all convo. Okay. Band, you ready? Bang face. Pulanglah malam ini. Bintang-bintang di langit sedang menari. Janji aku padamu, kita kekal sampai tua. Pulanglah malam ini. Bintang-bintang di langit sedang menari. Janji aku padamu, kita kekal sampai tua. Sama-sama sampai tua. Selamanya darah muda. Thank you, bye-bye. Wow, thank you. Congratulations. Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
UniKL, kita kembali lagi.
Kami kembali. Macam baru naik stage ni kan?
Baru je. Assalamualaikum. Tahniah kepada anda semua, student-student yang akan melangkah ke alam yang baru, insyaAllah. Dunia yang baru, kita doakan moga-moga semua akan kekal terus dalam usaha dan berjaya ya, insyaAllah.
Amin.
Jadi kita nak bagi secebis.
Kita check
warm
mic
up lah,
sekejap.
kita nak warm up lah.
Kita check mic sekejap.
Boleh kita warm up lah.
Bismillah. Warm up je
Boleh lah.
Alright.
Sentuhan listrikmu.
Snap.
Betul boleh
Dah grad dah boleh diri dah.
Dah grad dah boleh diri. Kita mini konsert boleh? Mini konsert lah. Satu lagu punya konsert kita cuba.
InsyaAllah.
Okey.
Bismillah.
Okey. Kita minta berdiri lepas ni. Kita dengar dulu. Macam mana bunyi dia.
Keluar je diri
Okay, I guess we shall start the lucky draw now. So here's the rules and how it works. There will be 10 lucky winners. The selection process will be through a Wheel of Fortune style, as you can see in the screen. And they will win cash prizes. Not to worry, it's cash prize. For the selected individuals, kindly give your response through the chat box or unmute your microphone. Then you can message Sharifah Norjiha on the given number in the chat box for your bank details later. And we will call upon the winner's name 3 times for them to respond. If the winner does not respond in the given interval, we will choose another person as the winner. So let's spin the wheel. Looks like our first winner is Adil Shakir. If you kindly respond by raising your hands or unmuting your mic or even say something in the chat box, please do. Calling for Adil Shakir. And Adil Shakir has responded. Congratulations, Adil. We can move on to the next winner. For our second winner is Khairani Nabila. Khairani Nabila, would you respond kindly by raising your hands, unmuting your mic, or even typing in the chat box? Congratulations again.
Nabila.
Hey, congrats.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Winner number 4, Afiq Hafizuddin. Afiq Hafizuddin, you know the drill. Either raise your hand, unmute your mic, or type in the chat box. Calling for Afiq Hafizuddin once. Calling for Afiq Hafizuddin twice. And final call for Afiq Hafizuddin. Done. Looks like Afiq is unable to respond. Now, I guess we shall pick another winner, shall we? Nurul Hidayah. If Nurul Hidayah is on the line, kindly raise your hands, unmute your microphone, or even type it in the chat box below. Calling for Nurul Hidayah once. Nurul Hidayah twice. Nurul Hidayah for the third time. like Nurul Hidayah is also unavailable. Darn. Number 4 is a really unlucky number today. Alright, third time's the charm. Alright. Farah Wahida. Will this person finally claim her prize, or will it be another person? So Farah Wahida, if you could give us any response, such as raising your hands, unmuting your mic, or even typing in the message box, please do. I shall call for Farah Wahida once. Farah Wahida second. Final call for Farah Wahida. Looks like there's no Farah Wahida here in the call, unfortunately. Wow, people. Alright, next. Nor Shaza Inara. Is there a person named Nor Shaza Inara in this call? If you are here right now, you can raise your hands, unmute your microphone, or type in the chat box. Calling for Nor Shaza Inara once. Calling for Nor Shaza Inara twice. Final call for Nor Shaza Inara. Wow, looks like you people don't really want money. Alright, guess there's no Nor Shaza Inara for today. Okay. Come on. We're still in winner number 4 here. Hopefully this will be our last. Atika Nabila, please, if you're here, please respond. Hey, thank you sis for responding. Winner number 4, Atika Nabila. Congratulations. Finally. Okay. Number 5, who will it be? Hafiz or Hakim? I think this is a typo, or is it? I'm sorry if I'm offending you, but Hafiz or Hakim? I'm sure it's Nur Hakim. Calling for Hafiz for Hakim once. Winner number 5. Calling for Hafiz for Hakim twice. If you're here in the call, Hafiz, you can raise your hands, type in the chat box, or even unmute your microphone. Final call for Hafiz or Hakim. Well, looks like Hafiz is not here, unfortunately. Okay, second time. Winner number 5. Looks like it is Siti Nur Shakira. If you're here with us in the call, raise your hands. Oh, looks like she is here. Congratulations, Miss Siti Nur Shakira, for being winner number 5. All right, 6th winner. it is Afiq Hazim. Mr. Afiq Hazim, if you're here, please give us any sign at all by raising your hands and meeting your. Oh, there we are. All right, congratulations. Okay, 7th winner. Lucky number. It appears Devanai is our lucky contestant. Devanai, if you are here within this call, raise your hands, type it in the chat box, or even unmute your microphone so that you can claim your prize as the 7th lucky winner. Calling for Devanai once. Once again, calling for Devanai twice. Final call for Devanai. If you could not respond right now, you do not win. Dang. Tough luck. Alright, moving on. Alright, Siti Nur Dashima. If you are in this call and you want to receive your prize, there we go, Siti Nur Dashima. Congratulations for being lucky number 7. Alright, who will be number 8? Number 8 is Muhammad Hakimi. Muhammad Hakimi, if you are in this call right now, respond by raising your hands. There we go. Number 8, Muhammad Hakimi is here. I want to remind the winners to check the chat box for contacting the treasurer, Sharifah Nurjiha, and you should give her your details as listed below to her so you can get your money. All right. Good night. Winner is Zarifa Afifat. Miss Zarifa, if you are here right now with us, you can raise your hands, unmute your microphone, and type it in the chat box. Calling for Miss Zarifa once. Calling for Miss Zarifa twice. Final call for Miss Zarifa Afifat. And she's not here. Sad. Alright, round 2. Looks like our lucky winner is Sharifah Suhana. Sharifah Suhana, if you're here with us, please raise your hands, type it in the chat box, or unmute your microphone. Oh, looks like she's here. Congratulations, Miss Sharifah. All right. Now we're moving on to our 10th and final winner. Whoever will take the prize will end this session and we can now go home. It is. Alright. Alright. The 10th contestant is Irisha Aiza. Irisha Aiza, if you're here with us, please raise your hands, type it in the chat box, or unmute your microphone. Hey, Aiza is here. All right, congratulations for being our final winner. And thank you as well. I bid to the fellow audience for attending this event and making it a success. I would like to apologize if there were any misgivings and hope you can provide your honest opinion in the feedback form so that we may improve in the near future. I am Afif Mirza, now signing off. Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Terasa sayu, jatuhnya jiwaku bila malam makin gelap, jauh terbang diriku melayang. Aku rindu sentuhanmu, ku rasa sayu, inginkan jiwamu selubungi jiwa ini, bawa ku dalam pelangi. Batasi ini.
Dah habis. Dah habis.
Ha?
Siapa nak habis?
Kita mengira